Now here's the part that some people might not know about you, but I think I know. See how I asked you the question, your eyes get narrow, and what that says to me is, I'm remember Vince said that when I see him next time. That's what that said. That's what that says to me. Am I lying?
You know, I just try to use everything I can for motivation, and as a tool, you know, for me to be able to elevate my team to play their best basketball. So I try to use a bit of everything.
Now, Dal had it out before. I mean, last time he was at the Staples Center, y'all got into a little shoving match there. What was that about, by the way?
I'm not really sure. I think it was just a physical game, and he tried to go to the basket and try to strip the ball. Wound up being a foul, pretty hard foul, and you know he had some, hard feelings about it, and we had some words.
Well, you know, I think about it, I'm saying to myself, you know, a lot of people's going to come after you hard. Do you find that to be the case now? You're the leader of the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, obviously, you look at this situation right now, everybody talks about Lamar Odom, but basically it's a relatively young team. You're the leader. Do you find that cats are coming after you harder and stronger than ever before?
I knew that going into this season, and Lamar and I talked about that prior to the start of the season. You know, what our opposition was, what they were going to do. And one of the things I said is our mentality has to be we're going to hunt you. And that's how I approach the game every single night. I'm not going to sit back and wait for you to come out and make the first hit or take the first blow or put us on our heels. You know, we're going to strike first. You know,
and I'm thinking about the Lakers. Are you the only person on your team that has that kind of attitude?
You know, I don't think so. I really don't.
Who
we
else?
have some, believe it or not, I mean, we really do have some players that are willing to step up and play hard.
Yeah, but it's a difference between playing hard and being an assassin.
Oh,
Allen Iverson, I spoke to him the other day. He called you a flat-out assassin. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. But seriously, you look at this team right now, how far do you think you guys can go? With the team as presently constructed, you leading the way. How far can you go?
You know, it's a tough thing to judge. You know, the system that we play in is really predicated on us being on the same page and having that chemistry. And it's taken a while for us to pick up the nuances of the game, of the triangle and how Phil teaches it. But once we pick it up, I mean, you'll see a drastic improvement, and it'll happen pretty quickly.
Why does it seem to be taking so long, though?
Well, you know, in this type of offense, everybody has to be on the same page at all times. It's not a set play. I'm not going to, Phil doesn't sit there and say, okay, we're going to, run a zipper action. We're going to get Stephen A. the ball. We're going to run a screen roll. You know, this is your play. We're going to ISO you on the post. We don't do that.
Okay.
Everything's predicated off of reads. And collectively, as a whole, we have to be able to read the defense. And then each and every player out there has to make the adjustments by being on the same page. It's pretty cool to think about, but it's difficult to get.
Yeah. Especially when there's only one Kobe Bryant on the squad, even though I love your team, but still in all. Stephen A. Smith, quite frankly, I'm in the house with the one and only Kobe Bryant. When we come back, we'll be talking more about the Lakers, more about Kobe, and Lord knows what else will come up. We'll be back in a minute. Coming up next on Quite Frankly, I have the NBA scoring leader, Kobe Bryant's in the house. And you know he's going to have a lot on his mind. You don't want to miss it. Stephen A. Smith, quite frankly, I'm back in the house with Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers. You know, before we get into the Lakers and everything, let's just rewind the clock back a little bit and go back to the very, very beginning. You know, a lot of people don't realize this. You're 6 years old. You in Italy. Basically growing up in Italy. Can you please tell us what that was like? Because how many languages do you speak, first of all?
Speak 2 fluently, working on 3, which is Spanish.
So working on Spanish?
Working on it.
Why are you working on Spanish?
Well, I speak Spanish.
Yeah, no, that's smooth. That's smooth. I like that. But talk about, I'm sorry, I digressed. I apologize. But talk to me about how it was growing up in Italy for you.
Well, at the time, it was all I knew. I mean, growing up, moved over there when I was 6 years old. But, in hindsight, it was great because it gave me experience know, to see how another culture's living, to kind of mature as far as you know, have a broader understanding of what the world looks like. And so, I mean, it helped me out a lot. And when it came to basketball, my grandparents used to send me out all the tapes of all the games. So it was the Lakers, the Celtics, the Bulls. She used to, her and my grandfather used to put a packet of tapes together and used to send them out to us, and I used to sit there at the house and just watch the games over and over and over again.
How did that shape your personality and your estimation? Because some people, a lot of people, like when they talk about Kobe Bryant, they say, had he grown up in the States, he might have had a different, even more outgoing personality. How did that shape your personality growing up?
Well, yeah, I'm a very outgoing guy. I'm just not an outgoing guy with, you know, people that I really don't know.
Right. So you consider yourself an outgoing guy?
Well, people who know me, yeah.
What would they say about you?
What?
People that know you, that say you're an outgoing guy, what would they say? What would they say about you?
I'm a pretty sarcastic dude. I'm a funny guy, man.
Well, listen, coming in, you know, I think about this too. You're in high school. You're playing at Lower Merion, averaging like 30 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals. You just did everything. Won a, you know, quadruple A state championship. I know all of that stuff, Lower Merion in Pennsylvania, but you decide to go pro. Why? Because you were going to go to Duke if you elected to go to college. Why did you make the decision to go pro?
Well, I had a chance to play against some of the best basketball players in the world. And the reason why I made the decision is to be able to compete against them every single night and to learn at a higher level than, you know, anything that I could possibly learn at the college level. You're playing against the best. So I said, you know what? Whether I'm ready or not, I don't know. But I know once I get there, I'll be able to learn from the best. And I know that I'm going to work hard, so one day I will be ready if I'm not ready when I first make the jump.
But when did you make the decision that you were going, whether ready or not, NBA, here I come? When did you make that call?
Well, I mean, you have to make, you know, you have to make your estimations as far as where you're going to go in the draft. You know, so I didn't just blindly just jump into a decision, not knowing where I was going to end up potentially. And then once I, you know, was comfortable with, you know, where I could potentially go, then I just went for it.
Now, it's interesting that you bring that up because the Charlotte Hornets, not the Los Angeles Lakers, drafted you with the 13th overall pick. So, I mean, did you know you were going to Los Angeles? Were you anticipating you were going to be in Charlotte? What was the situation?
Actually, after I got drafted, you know, you have to go and you have to do your calls. You know, so I go in and I do a call and I speak to a representative from the organization at the time. And they said, you know, they told me that, you know, they were looking to move me because they really didn't have any use or need for me. I said,
they didn't have any use for you, even though they traded you for Vlade Divac.
Well, you know, I was, at the time, I mean, I was, you know, 17 years old, and I heard that, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to be doing every day this summer, all day this summer, train my butt off. You know, because when I hear stuff like that, I mean, that's just automatically just telling me you can't do something, you can't, you know, we don't need you. I said, okay.
But where did you get, again, we go back to your personality, because where do you get that from? Didn't I just tell y'all about how his eyes narrow and everything? Like, oh, okay, I'm going to remember y'all. Where does that come from? Because the perception is growing up in Italy, you know, we don't view Italy the way we view Harlem, New York, or, you know, south side of Chicago, anything like that. You look at it as a relatively affluent and comfortable environment, so you know what, that fire in your eyes, that fire in your belly, it's usually not perceived as being there. Where do you get that from then?
I don't know where it comes from. It's just always been there. But growing up in Italy, you know, what I used to hear a lot, which just absolutely drove me crazy, was all the kids would say, you know what, you're a good basketball player here, but once you go back to the States, you're not going to be able to do none of this stuff.
They used to tell you that?
They used to tell me, oh, they're too good over there. They're taller, they're more athletic, they're faster, they play the game much better, and you know, you're not going to be able to do any of that stuff. And that just absolutely drove me crazy.
So then you come back to the States, and your mission is to prove some things, and ultimately you end up just killing everybody on a high school level. You go to the pros, Utah, Western Conference semifinals.
Not too many people remember that.
Oh, I do.
I'm sure you do.
I do. You know, that's right, that's right.
You know, just gonna bring it up,
listen, let me tell you something right now. Hold on, before you trust me, I'm on your side here. You shot an air ball in regulation. You shot 2 air balls in overtime. And guess why? Everybody else was sitting there crucifying you. This is what I was thinking. Del Harris started this man just 6 games that season. Why is this rookie in that position? especially when there was friction because you wanted more playing time and you felt you deserved more playing time. So I'm like, why were you in that position to begin with? What were the thoughts that were going through your mind when those air balls came raining down on the Delta Center?
Okay. I took the first one. It felt good. It did. It felt good. It felt good. And it went short. I just said, damn, I'm going to make the next one. And the next one, damn, I'm going to make the next one. Because these feel good.
Right.
Then I shoot the next one. I said, damn. Okay, I'm due.
All right.
And then I shot 2 more.